Child, good brother.
Yeah, my son.
Talk to me.
All right, so this is the thing. My son, he called me the other day. He ran away from home, and he told me that he had a sexual, relationship with a man that was 22 years old.
How old is your son?
My son is 16.
16, and he had a sexual relationship with a 22-year-old man.
Yes.
Okay.
So he doesn't live with me. So he lived with his mom, right?
Yes.
And we tried to press charges, but the law says is 16 gives away. You can give consent to an adult.
Right, but he wasn't 16. He was 15, right?
The guy, I spoke to the man that he was dealing with, right? He said he was 16 when he was dealing with. My son just turned 16 August. So I think it's a lie. So my thing is, me and his mom is trying to see, is it like a mental thing? Because, my son never came off gay to me ever before. And he just came out the closet like all one shot, like, hey, Dad, I did him first, then he did me, but I like girls.
Okay.
So I don't know. And I know you do therapy. And and you're a black man, and that's why I contacted you, because I respect you, I follow you, and I was trying to see if we can set up some type of therapy, see what's going on with my son, and you can crack deeper into what's going on with him. Like, has he been doing this? Is this the first time? Like, is it a phase he going through? Is it like mental? You know what I mean? Because my son is smart. He's on honor roll, actually.
Okay.
So the insurance that I have Independence, Blue Cross, or I can pay cash if you don't take the Blue Cross.
I got you. Okay, couple issues. Okay. So number one, we have to get him a licensed psychologist. I don't have my license yet because I didn't apply for it.
Okay.
And because this issue is non-school related, it wouldn't fall under my umbrella as a certified school psychologist. So he has to see a licensed psychologist.
Not even as a counselor? 'Cause I know you said, I remember you said something about you was a counselor at a school.
Right. But in order for me to counsel him as a school psychologist, it has to be a school related issue. It has to be related to academics in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and this one is not. I have decided I'm going to go ahead and get my license. I have decided I'm going to do that, but that's going to probably be about a year.
Okay.
So we got to get him a licensed psychologist now. But here's the thing, though, and I have a referral. I have three referrals for you, all of them black men. One of them is an elder psychologist here in Philadelphia. Another one is a former psychologist, president of the Association of Black Psychologists. He's not in Philly, but he has a network in Philly. And then the third one is the Association of Black Psychologists in Philadelphia referral number. So 2 numbers are directly to black men. The third number is to the Association of Black Psychologists referrals, which means that they will refer you to a black man as well. So either way, you're not going to have a problem getting him the therapist. Here's going to be the challenge, though. Here's the challenge. As you know, we are living under an LGBTQ dictatorship. And that dictatorship has colonized mental health. So in the United States of America, it is illegal to do any form of gay conversion therapy. It's illegal. This country will not let you work with someone who no longer desires to be romantically involved with the same gender. They have made it a crime to help them. Yes, sir. They've made it a crime to help them go back to their natural state. So that doesn't mean that these brothers can't work with him, but they cannot come at it directly that way. If you follow what I'm saying, they'll have to deal with the triggers, the historical incidents that gave birth to this or gave rise to this. They'll have to come at it another way, but they cannot do therapy based on a young man being homosexual and his parents don't agree with it. They can't come that way. Now,
'Cause I'm hurting too, man. I was trying to see if I can join separate myself too, because this is messed up. This is messing me up traumatically. I'm traumatized by this. You know what I mean? Like,
understandably. Here's the big issue. If your son is bothered by his orientation, they can work with him that way. So the way the DSM is structured is if the homosexual or lesbian or transgender has a problem being homosexual, lesbian, or transgender, they can be helped because it is a psychological stressor. So if it's bothering your son, they can work with him because it's bothering him. In other words, he's saying, I have a problem with that. They can work with him directly on the issue. But if he's saying, I'm gay and I'm cool and I ain't got no problem with this, that's my mom and dad tripping, they can't work with him because psychologically, it's not an issue to the client, to the patient, to the young man himself. It has to be an issue for him.
But he told me that he liked girls still. But he didn't tell me that, you know, he didn't like guys like that. Like it was a one-time thing. You know what I mean? He said, but I still like girls. So that it confused me. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, it's very possible that that older man could have manipulated, pressure, whatever the case may be. It could have been a one-time thing. I hope it was a one-time thing. But the fact that he had that experience, as I said earlier, best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. Now that the experience has taken place, that does create a mental framework for it to happen again. Not to say it could be one and done. But because he did it, we can never know if he'll ever do it again. What I do like about, how did you find out about this? He brought it to you?
What happened? He ran away, and his mom called me. She said, well, you need to go get your son. So I said, well, what's going on? He said, he'll tell you, blah, blah, blah. So I called his phone. I found out where he was at. So he got in the car. I said, Jerome, what's going on with you? He said, my mom went through my phone and she found out I was texting a guy. She seen that, we was talking about the sex we was having, and I had the one time he did it to me and I did it to him, and blah blah blah. He just splattered it out. I'm like, are you gay? And he was like, I still like girls, and it was just crazy, man. It was crazy.
Let me ask you this. Why did he run away?
Because he said he didn't feel loved cause he lived with his mom. So he said he didn't feel loved at his house. He felt, but so when I took him to his house in front of his mom, she said, oh, he can't do what he wanted to do. So, I took his phone from him and he ran off and ran away.
What kind of relationship does he have with you?
Well, I wasn't all the way in his life, right? It was on and off because me and his mom was having problems and stuff like that. Child support issues and just a whole bunch of other stuff. So, it was in and out. So we basically, the past year, we was getting closer, rebuilding our relationship. And so I wouldn't say we super close, but it's I don't know, like a normal, I guess a normal dad-son relationship.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is there a reason why he couldn't live with you?
I don't think his mom would allow that.
But if he's running away from home, and of course I don't want to get the white man involved in this through the court system, but if you had to go to family court, and Lord knows I hate family court.
Me too, man.
I was just down there the other day. Yeah, paying child support. But you may have to go through the courts and get custody of your son. And they are a little bit more inclined to give fathers physical custody because of all the nonsense going on with black boys out here. So if you want him under your roof, I think you got a real good chance of doing that. Not to take nothing away from mom, but if he's running away, and, you know, I don't support homosexuality,
Right.
but if he's running away, we got some worse things that could happen to your son. You understand?
Right.
On top of this. And of course, I'm concerned about this because I don't know if they had protected intercourse or not. Because as you know, a gay black man has a 1 in 2 chance of leaving this earth a lot earlier than God determined he should leave this earth. You know, that homosexuality with the AIDS, that's my biggest concern for the gay black man. You know, so when I talk to the gay black men, it ain't even about the fact that this is anti-African behavior. It's the fact that you playing with your life. Because if you have unprotected sex with the wrong man, your anus is a direct route to your bloodstream, you know, and you get that AIDS, you ain't going to be here that long. So I'm more concerned about his health, you know, and him being out here having relations with men and putting his life in danger. So for me, I think it's time for you to, if you can do it, I think it's time for you to talk with mom, see if y'all can maybe split the custody down the middle at first, see how that works. A week with you, a week with her. I think that might be a good thing. What grade he in right now?
I think he in the 9th or the 10th.
Yeah, so he still got at least 3 years. He ain't gonna make them 3 years without you. So maybe y'all can do week on, week off. A lot of parents I know do that with the high school students. Or maybe he just need to be under your roof primarily, going to visit the mom on the weekends. But I'm not liking this because, you know, that community, they're very influential community. And
I got the number right. The mom went through the text. They was texting, so she sent me the dude number. So he was. I think he put his phone on do not disturb. So my son, I said, "Yo, take me to his house." So we went to his house. He even lifted up the rug under the carpet, like he knew the key was there, and it wasn't there though. So he knocked on the door. Dude didn't answer. Went to his job. He wasn't there. So I called him. Basically asked him. I'm like, you know, like, how long has been going on? He basically said since August, right? Because my son's birthday in August 10th. So he basically tried to cover it up because my son just turned 16. So he basically saying, oh, yeah, it happened since 16. But long story short, I'm like, what up? Damn, I'm my fault, man. I'm just a little messed up about this.
No, I understand. I definitely understand.
So what did he say? Oh, yeah, so I was asking him questions. I'm like, why? Like, why? How did y'all come about? Oh, he's playing basketball and you just got cool. And I said, yo, he's 16, you're 22. You didn't know that was like morally wrong, even though, you know, he gave you the consent. You know, he's 16. Yeah, I know it was morally wrong, but he was confiding in me. He was telling me he was having problems at home.
Now, do you see that right there? That's how it happens. That's how it happened. He was running away from mom, not happy with that situation. He goes to this older brother, right? This man is like an older brother. You know, he's 16, he's 22. He's confiding in him. He's being his emotional support. This is how they get our boys. This is how they get them. He's confiding in him. And guess what? I've said this so many times. The older guy manipulates the boy and his need for support into a sexual relationship. It happens. Oh, this is classic. This is classic. I don't think your son is homosexual. I think he was manipulated into that relationship by this older, stronger man.
That's what I was thinking.
That's what I believe this was. It had because he's older. If they were the same age, it'd be a little different. But because he's older, I think this was a case of emotional manipulation. But it can happen again. And here's the bottom line. That and you are not at fault here. I want to be clear. Okay.
And I did feel like that because I'm like,
right.
I wasn't consistent in his life.
Well,
you know,
that played a role in it. I don't want you to blame yourself, but you not being consistent in your son's life played a role in it because that 22-year-old could have never got in that gap, right?
Right.
But we can't cry over spilled milk. You now have to be what your son needs you to be before he goes back crying on that shoulder again. And we know what happens when he cries on that shoulder. So now you have to, okay, son, we spending time together. But it has to come from a genuine place. It can't be, I'm doing this because I don't want my son to be gay. That's okay for you to feel that way because I don't want my son to be gay either. But that can't be the reason you stepping in because it'll be disingenuous. Your son has to know and feel that you're stepping in because I love my boy. This is my son, and I don't want nobody manipulating him into being anything other than what God intended for him to be. And I've been missing. I wasn't there the way I should have been, but I'm going to be there now. So if it were me, I would look my son in the eyes. This is not your fault. This happened because I wasn't in your life the way I needed to be. And I'm going to start being here now. This has shown me my era as a father. And so now I'm going to be here. But I'm telling you, there's no better way for you to make sure something like this doesn't happen again than to have him under your roof, if that's possible. But definitely you have to build a stronger emotional bond with your son so he doesn't have a need to go to another male. And don't get me wrong, young black men should be able to come to us. Young black men come to me for support. You see, but it shouldn't get manipulated. And that's a shame because you got all these fatherless boys looking for older men for nurture, for support. And the older men are manipulating it into homosexual experiences. And that's a damn shame. That's on the community right there. We got to do something about that. And basically more heterosexual men have to step up and be in the lives of our boys because the homosexual men, they're out there. And I'm not saying every homosexual is a predator. I am not saying that. But I am saying that that community is a very influential community. As you see, the media, they own the media. They own, they own the high schools. They own the politicians. What was the first thing Joe Biden signed when he took off? The first day of office. The first day, nothing to do with police brutality. The first day he signed the anti-transgender bill. The first day. So they are political. They can get jobs. They are a very resourceful community. My concern... Yes, sir. My concern with black males.
Obama did more for gays than black people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My concern for our boys who are straight and love being straight is that community is so resourceful, academically, politically, economically, that if you are not certain about your manhood, if you are not firm in your heterosexuality, you can be easily led astray by the things they can do for you. That's the problem. And if the black community, if black men don't start creating better opportunities for black boys, a lot of our boys are going to be the unintentional victims of that community because they have so much influence. They are the in thing now. They are the in thing. So if we're not raising our boys with strong identity and giving them strong opportunities so they don't have a need to look at what someone else may be providing them with, we're going to lose a lot more. Your son is an example of what can happen when a straight black boy needs a man to talk to for emotional support and ends up with a predator. I'm not saying all gays are predators. But that man was a predator because he didn't come to him for no sex. He didn't come to him for no homosexual relation. That was a child and you was a young adult. And although it's only like 6 years between them, it's enough. It's enough where you know that what you were doing was inappropriate and not right. You had no business manipulating that young man into a sexual relationship.
It's like my fault. It's like really eating me up. It's like... That's why I'm trying to go to therapy too.
I understand, brother. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to hurt, brother.
Because every time I go to sleep, I just be thinking like, if I was there, man, if I was there, this wouldn't have happened. But his mom made it so hard for me. And I'm not trying to
I understand, brother. I have two daughters. I've been through the same thing with their mothers. I didn't marry the mothers, and they made it very difficult for be in my daughter's life. I totally understand. You know, I get it, my brother. A lot of women will weaponize the child. They will keep the children from us as a payback for not getting what they wanted from us. I'm going through it right now, so I understand it, brother. Paying child support and not being able to see your child. I totally get it, but you also got to get some therapy because this is hard for a father to deal with. Because you're dealing with not only the revelation that your son had relations with another man, and the fact that that man, in my opinion, was a predator because of the age difference, and the fact that the young man was only looking for a big brother. He wasn't looking for an older sexual partner. And then you have to deal with the role that you played in this, but you can't blame yourself though, because all of us are human. We make mistakes. The mother played a role in this. You understand? So, you know, she has as much blame as you do. The black community has blame in this because we allow this culture to grow up around us and do nothing about it. The black church has been co-opted by this thing, you know, and don't blame yourself, my brother, because if you blame yourself, you can't heal. You can recognize your role in this. So you don't have to be in denial, but at the same time, you got to forgive yourself, because if you don't forgive yourself, you'll never get past this. If you don't forgive yourself, you'll never get past this. So you're going to have to be able, you know, to forgive yourself to move on from it. It's not easy, brother. It's not easy. And this ain't the first time I heard about this. You know, this happens a lot. It happens a whole lot. You know, but what I'm looking towards is the good side. And the good side is you getting involved in your son's life, doing more activities with him. Y'all need to create a regular father-son schedule, whatever that's going to be. You know, you can start off small and then grow. You might say, look, son, every Wednesday night, you with me, 5 to 10, we're going to go to movies, go eat, just walk, talk, get to know each other. Start with one day, because what I always tell parents, it's not the amount of time you spend with the child. It's the amount of attention the child got during the hours you spent with them. In other words, one father gets his child every day, but never pays attention to the child. He got to make a run. He got to do this. He got a phone call. He got to go to the business. The child is physically with him, but he never gets no time with his father. But the other father only sees his father other child sees his father once a week for 3 hours. But guess what? When he's with his father, it's all about him and his father. It's not how much time, it's the quality of time. So, you know, if your schedule doesn't allow you to see him every day, that's fine. But whatever day you agree to in time, make sure you never cancel. I mean, sometimes there's emergencies, but as much as possible, you got to keep your word, because you got to build that trust. You got to build that trust. You want to be the man he comes to and the only man he needs to come to. So you got to rebuild that trust with your son. Okay, so whatever time and day you choose to be with him, keep that. That is sacred for you. No, nothing comes in between that. So make sure it's a time that you know you can fulfill. Start with that. Then you say, okay, son, we've been doing this for 2 months, 3 months. You know, the Thursday evening, you know, let's add some Saturday. Let's go play some basketball. One-on-one, father and son from 8 to 11 at the rec. You know what I'm saying? You can do it that way too. So, you know, slow and steady gets the job done. Slow and steady gets the job done. But you can fix this. The good thing about this, you can fix it. Your son is at the age where he's trying to find out who he is. There's no better time for you to step in and be what he needs you to be than right now. You can end this. That's the good news. I have no question that you can rectify this whole situation. And based on what you said, having never met your son, I don't think this had anything to do with homosexuality. Except, of course, the act itself was a homosexual act, but I don't believe that's what the situation is with your son. I believe he was looking for somebody to talk to, and he got manipulated by an older predator. That's what I think this was.
That's exactly how I feel.
That's exactly what this was. So it's all good from here, bro. I want you to text me at like 1 o'clock. I'm going to text you the context that I have. And if it becomes necessary, you, I, and your son could meet. Remember, I don't have my license, so we could still have a conversation as with me being a life coach, if you understand.
That'd be awesome, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I still want him linked up though with a licensed therapist, even if it's just a few sessions, so they can do a little investigating, see if it's more to the story than what we know. Hopefully it isn't, and then once he has that relationship going on, the three of us can definitely link up and have that conversation.
Dr. Umar, man, I really appreciate, man, you taking your time out.
Stay strong, bro. It's okay, man. Listen, it ain't easy being no black man. It ain't easy being no black man. And it definitely ain't easy being no black father, brother. You hold your head up, man. You hold your head up. A mistake was made, but it can be corrected, man.
Appreciate you so much, man.
No problem. And if me, you, and the mom need to have a conversation, we can.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
You understand? Because I don't know how willing she would be to let y'all son come and stay with you. To me, she's the key in a lot of this because she can make it easy or she can make it difficult. But the fact he ran away tells me there's some issues in that home that have to be addressed too. So, the whole parent mediation thing, I do that on the regular. I don't know if she knows who I am, but your next step is a conversation with her and then a conversation with him so y'all can go ahead and set up y'all schedule. But reach out to me anytime, King. Reach out to me anytime. You have to do that anyway because I got to get you the referrals. But keep your head up, bro. Don't let this get you down, man. And I do believe in the power of prayer. I'm totally political. I'm totally a Pan-Africanist, but I do believe in the Most High, brother. So you make sure you pray. You ask the Most High for your help. You ask your ancestors to intervene on this situation because we got unseen forces with us. We the first people. We are God's chosen people, and we have unseen forces that can come to our aid. So you make sure you call on them too during this time, my brother.
Yes, sir. And I appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Stay strong, King.
Text you that one, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right now. One love.
Have a good one.
Brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters. My God, my God, my God, my God. Brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters. If you are a black LBGTQ and you had a problem with the conversation I just had, then you are a problem. I'm going to say it again. There is nothing in that conversation I had with that father that in any way, shape, form, or fashion could be misconstrued as hatred against you and your community. Nothing. Nothing. The world does not revolve around your sexual orientation. Do you understand? The world does not revolve around my Pan-Africanism. You have to stop thinking that the whole world has to bow down and kiss your ass because you choose to live your life a certain way. We must respect you, yes. Tolerate you, yes. Free from abuse, yes. We don't have to agree with you. People don't agree with me. That don't mean they hate me. You understand? I don't agree with you. That don't mean I hate you. That is a young man who got manipulated by an older man who happened to be a homosexual. I didn't say that all gay men are predators. That gay man was a predator. And if you are going to defend him, if you are going to say that that was appropriate, if you're going to say that that was appropriate, then you are just as guilty as him. I am sick and tired of your community not holding your own responsible. That's the problem we have with y'all. Yeah, we don't agree with you, but that's not the big issue. We can't stop you from doing what you want to do. So that's not the issue. The issue is your community does not hold its own accountable. Not one of you said what that 22-year-old did was wrong. Not one of you. And that's the problem we have with y'all because y'all do not hold your own accountable. But when somebody who don't belong to your community says something to you, you go off. We're this and we're that, and we should be ostracized, and we should be locked up and thrown away and murdered. You have no problem criticizing people who disagree with you. But the minute somebody in your camp takes advantage of a child, y'all don't say anything. And that's the problem I have with y'all. I'm still waiting for your community to create an anti-child sexual abuse movement. Why doesn't your community have an anti-child sexual abuse component to it? I've asked that question for years and I never got an answer, so I'm asking right now. I respect all y'all. I love all black people. I don't care what your issue is. I may disagree with you, but I still love you. Oh, you understand? My question for your community, why have you not created an anti-child sexual abuse task force, organization? I don't hear y'all doing anything at all about child sexual abuse within your community. I've never seen it. If I'm wrong, show it to me. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I don't hear y'all doing no type of advocacy to support. What happened to him was wrong. And it happens all the time. Okay? Straight people do it, and straight people should check it. Gay people do it, and gay people should check it. Straight people check child sex abuse. I don't see your community checking child sex abuse. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.